light on.
Okay, good morning. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
So, yeah, everything is fine, ma'am. What about you?
Yeah, everything is going good. Yeah. So how is your day been so far? Did you have a busy day?
Yeah, actually, I had some work. When I received your call, I was actually outside. That's why I'm sorry for making you wait for some time.
Okay, yeah. Before we begin, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, actually, my name is Anand. I'm from Patna. I'm a teacher. I teach English in a school. And I have one YouTube channel. Its name is Grammar Bala, for which I make conversational videos.
Right. You look familiar. Maybe I've seen you in one of the conversations.
Oh, okay. So,
Mm,
would you please introduce yourself, ma'am?
yes, sure. My name is Shanta. I'm a tutor of spoken English. I teach online as a freelancer, but by qualification, I'm a software engineer. So currently I live in Karnataka and I have also started a YouTube channel, English with Shanta. So currently I'm working on my channel. So that's a
Oh.
little bit about me.
So, you are an engineer?
Yes, I'm a software engineer.
Okay, so do you work for any company?
I used to, but not anymore. I
Uh,
used to
so,
work some years ago.
so what do you do now?
I'm a tutor. That's what I told you. I'm a tutor, teacher.
Teacher. So, which subject do you teach?
I teach spoken English.
Spoken English. So,
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. So, you were an engineer. So, have you left the job?
Yes, I've quit my
Uh,
job.
So, why did you leave the job?
Because I got married and I have to relocate. So I didn't want to. Right now, I do not want to go back into IT job. That is
Yeah.
the reason I've started
And
working as a.
what made you become a spoken English trainer?
I don't know. I applied for the job and I got accepted.
Mhm.
I wish to work as a freelancer. So when I applied for this platform, they were actually looking for freelancers. So it just
Mhm.
came along and I started working. They liked the way I speak. They liked my English. So yeah, I'm working with them.
And what made you become a YouTuber as well?
Yeah, because I was seeing a lot of conversations like this,
Yeah.
video calls and conversations. So I thought if I'm able to record and put it on my channel, people can see and learn.
Mhm. So, what do you do to improve your English, and how long have you been learning English?
I've
Where are
been,
you actually? Sorry to interrupt. Where are you from?
I'm from Karnataka.
Okay, you're from Karnataka. So, I think your native language is Kannada.
Yes, Kannada.
So, when did you think to learn English?
I did not think to learn English. I was put into an English medium school, so I had to
Uh,
speak English there. So ever since childhood, I've been speaking in English.
mhm. Okay, so what do you do apart from speaking to people to improve your communication skill?
Other than that, I like reading, but I do not have enough time to read now. So I usually listen to English content. I watch Hollywood movies and I listen to English speeches.
Mhm. Yeah.
I listen to some
So,
conversations as well.
can you please tell me some of the channels you watch?
I don't watch one particular channel on a
Mhm.
go, but I just keep scrolling. If I find some interesting conversation, I just put it. I do not follow any channel for conversations.
Okay, ma'am. So, could you please, tell me some about your hobbies, about what you do in your free time?
In my free time, I used to read books and I used to watch YouTube videos, movies. I like watching movies and listening to music. But currently, I don't have time for any of this. Currently, the only thing that I'm doing is creating content, uploading on my YouTube, talking to people. So this is consuming all of my time. So I do not have any more free time left to do anything else.
So, when it comes to learning English, there are four different aspects. writing, reading, listening, and speaking. And I think out of them, speaking is the most difficult part. So, what suggestion would you like to give to improve speaking skill?
If you want to improve your speaking skills, you need to speak. That is the first and foremost thing. You need to speak. And how are you going to get ideas and how are you going to get your vocabulary for speaking is by listening and reading. So I forgot to tell you, I also listen a lot. Even when I'm doing my household works, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I just put on the earphones and I keep listening to English stuff. That is how I do my listening practice. So once you do your listening practice, you have enough vocabulary to talk to people. So then you can start speaking with people. That's the best you can do in order to speak. The more you speak,
Okay.
the more you practice, you will improve.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Actually, ma'am, I'm a teacher. I teach in a private school, so I teach, students, and very few of them are, interested in learning English. So whenever I go in the class, uh, very, few of them are interested. They feel like, what should I say? They feel like hostages in the class. That's
Mm.
why now I'm asking you how to, make teaching interesting so that even those who do not have interest, they can, start learning.
Mm. So basically, I do not teach children. I teach grown-ups, and that too, I teach only spoken English. So maybe
Yeah.
like, during the school levels, whatever it is that you are teaching grammar, maybe, you start off with grammar. So that is obviously not interesting for the children. And you're telling me they are not interested in English, right?
Yeah. They
So
are more
how
interested. Yeah, they
the
are more
language?
interested in subjects like mathematics, science, physics, chemistry, and when it comes to study English, as I told you, they feel like hostages in the class.
Right. But they need to be aware that how important English is going to be for their future. Otherwise, it's a real struggle if they do not learn English. But how
Uh,
you're going to make it interesting, I'm not getting any ideas as of now. Maybe you will know it better. Maybe you have more experience. How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for the last 7 years.
Only English?
Yeah, only English.
So what's your qualification?
I've done graduation in English, and right now I'm pursuing MA in same subject.
Have you done your B.Ed, M.Ed, anything of such?
Not yet, but
Mm.
now I'm planning.
Because it's going to be mandatory from now, right? To you need to have your B.Ed in order to teach in schools.
Actually, before school, I used to teach, students who were preparing for competitive examinations like banking, SSC.
Mm.
So my, job was quite confined to, grammar. But since I joined the school, now I have to teach everything like literature, like some sort of, even speaking part. So that's why now I do everything.
Mhm. So you have been teaching in school from 7 years? No.
No, actually, I've been in school. I've been teaching for the last 6 years. But before school, I was teaching only competitive students.
Mm. So why did you choose English? Because you are done a graduation in English. Is that the reason?
Yeah. Actually, since beginning when I was in high school, I was quite interested in English. I was very passionate about speaking in English. So earlier it was my just a hobby, but with time it became my profession.
Mm. So did you study in an English medium school?
No, I have never, studied in a private school. I have, studied in a government school, but after completing graduation, I got opportunity to teach in a private school.
So you tell me, how did you learn English? Because your English is quite good.
Actually, I don't know when actually I started. Maybe when I was in ninth standard. So in my high school there was one English, lady teacher. She used to speak English, very good way. And she was the only teacher who was speaking in my English in my school, and I was the only student who was interacting with her in English. So because in government school English is taught as a subject, and nobody is interested in learning English. They are mostly interested in subjects like mathematics, science. So I was the only students who used to interact with that man in English. So since there I started learning English.
Right. And do you have any such student of your own who is like this? Like you were interested in English and you used to talk to your teacher. So is there any student in your class who is interested in English and interacts with you often?
Not in school, but yeah, I used to teach one girl. She was really, very interested in learning English. She was that time pursuing MBA and MBA entrance exam. So she was very passionate. Her father was a lecturer in a college. So she used to, sometimes, put a trouble for me. She was, always coming with some sort of, questions like vocabulary, sometimes how to frame sentences. So yeah, she was a girl who was very passionate about learning English. She was the only girl.
So are you living basically in Patna, in the city?
I'm from Patna.
So how is the city? Is it quite big?
Yeah, city is quite peaceful. Actually, it is one of the you can say metropolitan cities. But problem is so far as education is concerned, condition is not so good.
That was
Actually,
exactly what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, as far as English is concerned, English is not taught here in most of the school. English is not taught as a language; it is taught as a subject, and mostly students are not interested.
Even in English medium schools?
Even in English medium, students only 10% can speak the way we are doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
only 10%. Only 10%.
Okay, it is acceptable if it is a village or a town, but you say that Patna is quite a big city. So I think people should be interested in this language, right? Why do you think, why are people not interested? Do they not believe that English is a global language or you need to learn English? They don't believe this?
Actually, as I told you, they are most interested in subjects like mathematics, science, physics. Most in the area I come from, if you ask students, most of them will give you reply. I want to be engineer. I want to be doctor. But nobody wants to become English trainer, a spoken English trainer like you, a teacher like me. So they don't feel any requirement to learn this language. That's why.
But whatever profession you choose, be it an engineer or doctor, whatever, but English is a global language. You have to learn it. And nobody will
Actually,
obviously aim to become a trainer. They just become it by accident. So if you want to be an engineer also, you need to attend interviews, and 100% interviews are going to be in English.
actually, ma'am, in school, most of them are teenagers. Those, so they do not, have any responsibility. Their mind is not so developed that they can think uh, like we. But yeah, once they are grown up, they will, realize that they need this language.
But it's going to be very difficult once you are a grown up. In order to learn everything from scratch, it's going to be difficult. So if you are starting
Actually,
it right from your childhood, it's easier.
yeah. What happens after completing board examinations? Most of the students join a coaching center to learn
Learning.
English. Learn English. Yeah.
Because coaching centers definitely give you a time frame. It's for 3 months, 6 months, so that you will
Uh,
not learn that duration. It
yeah.
requires years of practice.
But I think after introduction of this smartphone, I think everything has become so easy that anyone can learn anything sitting at home itself.
And free of cost.
So, do you have any question, ma'am? Please, if you have, just ask
Yeah,
me.
yeah, just one question. So you told me you're a teacher. Who, according to you, what is the definition of a good student?
A good student is one who go by, teachers, wish, who is quite disciplined in school, who is
Mm.
quite who is quite disciplined in school, who is a bit respectful to teachers, who respect teachers, who do all homework in time. But situation with me is quite opposite. Most of the time, I have to ask them to do everything. So yeah, there are some students in my school. They are really quite disciplined, but not all of them.
So are you enjoying your profession of being a teacher?
Actually, now I'm planning to start my own coaching center. I want to teach spoken English.
So is there a demand for this?
Yeah, in the area I come from, there is huge demand of a spoken English trainer.
So you must be quite famous now, right? If people know that you are a YouTuber and you're doing these conversations, you might be famous by now. Do people know you?
Yeah, actually, many people know in my area that I speak English. I'm a YouTuber, but it doesn't matter. Actually, nowadays English gone are the days when English used to become a language of elite in society, but now it has become a language of common people. So everyone is speaking English. So it's not a big matter.
Yeah, but you told there is scarcity of people who speak English, right, in your town?
Yeah,
Not
yeah, there are, but the problem is, there are very few who want to learn English.
Yeah,
Very
obviously, if
few.
they are learning, they won't know it also.
Yeah, where most of them want to become an engineer, doctor. So English is not, their requirement.
And even many people want to get into civil services, right, from your state?
Yeah. Most of them, as prepare for examinations like SSC, UPSC. Yeah.
Right. Okay, yes, that's it. I don't have any more questions. Do you want to ask me anything or we'll end the session?
Yeah, it's just one question, ma'am. Actually, what's according to you, what's the difference between teaching in a school and teaching as a spoken English trainer?
Yeah, I'm working online. The first difference is that I do not go physically to anywhere to teach. So I'm teaching from the comfort of my home. So what is the difference of teaching in a school? Did you ask?
Yeah, what is the
Uh,
difference between teaching in a school as a teacher and teaching as a spoken English trainer?
the difference is that I don't deal with children. It's currently what I'm doing. But dealing with children requires a lot of patience. And you need to have physical stamina also in order to make them disciplined, in order to make them listen. But in this case, people are paying me individually to learn English from me. So it's quite easy. And I do not teach for the entire day. I need not be available during the day, entire day. So I either take 15 minutes or 30-minute sessions. So
Yeah.
I think that what I'm doing is easier. Obviously, there is a lot of difference in the pay also that you get. But yeah, these are the differences.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this session. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for connecting. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye bye.